Close your eyes now. Let the world melt away like warm honey on your skin. Breathe in slow, breathe out slower. Tonight, we're not going far. We're staying right here on our beautiful blue planet, drifting through the softest, gentlest facts about life on Earth. Each one a tiny pillow for your mind. Each pause a deeper breath. Keep listening, because every whisper is pulling you gently into the warmest, coziest sleep you've ever known. The earth is kind, and every living thing is part of one big, quiet family. The first soft fact floats in from the deepest ocean trench, the Mariana Trench. 7 miles down, where the water presses with the weight of 1,000 elephants on every square inch, yet tiny snailfish swim calmly, their jelly-like bodies glowing faint blue in the total dark, living quietly where no sunlight has ever touched, their eyes bigger than their stomachs, seeing only what they need to survive. Their skin thin as paper, but strong enough to hold the pressure of a mountain. The second whisper comes from the tallest tree on Earth, a coast redwood named Hyperion, standing 380 feet tall in a secret California forest, older than 2,000 years, drinking fog through its leaves every morning like a gentle giant sipping mist from the sky. Its bark thick as a mattress, protecting it from fire and time. Its roots spreading wide like fingers holding the earth. The third calm glow arrives from the Sahara Desert at night, where the sand cools so fast it sings, tiny grains rubbing together in a soft, high-pitched hum you can only hear if you press your ear to the dunes. The desert whispering itself to sleep. Stars above, so bright they cast shadows on the golden waves. The air cool and crisp like fresh linen. The fourth gentle light drifts past the Amazon rainforest, home to 3 million kinds of insects, where a single tree can host more life than all of Europe. Leaves breathing out oxygen so pure it feels like the forest is tucking you in with every exhale. The air thick with the smell of wet earth, sweet flowers, and distant rain. The fifth soft murmur speaks of the honeybee, a tiny creature that visits 2 million flowers to make 1 pound of honey, flying the distance to the moon and back in a lifetime, all to create a golden drop that never spoils, even after 3,000 years, found in ancient Egyptian tombs, still sweet and safe to eat. Its wings beating 200 times a second, yet silent in the hive. The sixth whisper tells of the giant tortoise on the Galapagos Islands, living 200 years, moving so slowly you can watch a cloud drift faster, yet carrying its home on its back. A walking symbol of patience and peace, its shell scarred by time but still strong, its eyes wise and calm, blinking once every minute. The seventh calm fact glows from the Arctic tundra in summer, where the sun never sets for 60 days, and tiny purple saxifrage flowers bloom across the frozen ground. Closing gently at the first hint of autumn chill, their roots gripping permafrost like tiny anchors. The eighth gentle glow comes from the coral reefs at night, where parrotfish wrap themselves in mucus bubbles to sleep, floating safely while the reef glows with bioluminescent plankton, turning the ocean into a quiet galaxy under the waves. The water warm and rocking like a cradle, the fish breathing slow and steady. The ninth soft light arrives from the African savanna, where a mother elephant rocks her baby to sleep with her trunk, humming a low rumble that travels through the ground, a lullaby felt in the bones of the herd. The air filled with the soft scent of acacia, dust, and distant rain. The stars above like a million fireflies. The 10th whisper floats past the Himalayan mountains, where snow leopards prowl in silence, their thick fur keeping them warm at -40 degrees, padding through the snow like ghosts, leaving only perfect paw prints that melt away by morning. Their tails long and fluffy, curling like scarves. The 11th calm murmur speaks of the monarch butterfly flying 3,000 miles from Canada to Mexico every winter, guided by a compass in its brain and the position of the sun. Landing on the exact same Oyamel fir trees its great-grandparents used, all without a map or GPS, its wings orange and black like stained glass. The 12th gentle fact tells of the giant panda spending 12 hours a day eating bamboo, sitting calmly like a fluffy monk in a Chinese forest, chewing with the softest crunch, living a life of simple, peaceful meals. Rolling down hills just for fun, its black eye patches like sleepy masks. The 13th soft glow comes from the Antarctic ice, where emperor penguins huddle in a giant circle, taking turns on the warm inside. Their chicks tucked safely under fluffy bellies, braving winds of 100 miles per hour with only each other, their calls soft and mournful in the endless white, their flippers hugging tight. The 14th whisper arrives from the Great Barrier Reef, the largest living thing on Earth, visible from space, built by tiny coral animals over thousands of years. A quiet city of color and life under the waves, home to clownfish hiding in weed, anemones, sea turtles gliding slowly, and sharks resting on the sandy floor. The 15th calm light speaks of the baobab tree in Africa, the tree of life, storing 10,000 gallons of water in its swollen trunk, standing upside down like it was planted by giants, living 2,000 years in quiet strength. Its branches bare in the dry season like arms reaching for rain. its fruit hanging like lanterns. The 16th gentle murmur glows from the fireflies in a Tennessee summer field, blinking in perfect unison across acres of grass, creating waves of soft green light, nature's own silent disco, guiding you gently into dreams as the warm night air wraps around you, the crickets singing back up. The 17th soft fact drifts past the Amazon River dolphin, pink and playful, swimming upside down to see better with its long beak, clicking softly to each other in a language of echoes, living in the warm, muddy waters of the world's largest river, the water brown like chocolate milk, full of floating leaves. The 18th whisper tells of the sloth, moving so slowly that algae grows on its fur, turning it green like a living, breathing garden that hangs from trees in Costa Rica, sleeping 20 hours a day in perfect peace, its smile permanent and gentle, its claws curved like hooks for hanging. The 19th calm glow comes from the blue whale, the largest animal ever to live, longer than 3 school buses. Its heart the size of a small car, singing songs that travel 1,000 miles through the ocean, low and slow, like the Earth's own heartbeat, heard only by other whales in the deep blue silence. The 20th gentle light arrives from the cherry blossom trees in Kyoto, Japan, blooming for just 1 week each spring, petals falling like soft pink snow onto quiet streets. A gentle reminder that beauty doesn't need to last forever to be perfect. The air filled with their sweet scent and the sound of distant temple bells. The 21st soft murmur speaks of the quokka, a tiny marsupial on Rottnest Island, Australia, that always looks like it's smiling, hopping calmly through the grass, unafraid of humans, spreading joy with every gentle bounce and curious tilt of its head, its fur soft as velvet. The 22nd whisper floats past the giant sequoia trees in California, scarred by fire, yet still growing taller, rings inside, telling stories of centuries in quiet layers, some alive when the pyramids were built, their needles whispering in the wind. The 23rd calm fact glows from the okapi, a shy creature in the Congo rainforest, half zebra, half giraffe, with velvet fur and a tongue long enough to clean its own ears, moving silently through the green like a living secret, its stripes glowing in dappled sunlight, its ears always listening. The 24th gentle glow comes from the platypus, a mammal that lays eggs, detects electricity with its bill, and glows under black light, swimming calmly in Australian rivers. Proof that nature loves gentle surprises, its webbed feet paddling like tiny oars, its tail flat like a beaver's. The 25th soft light arrives from the narwhal, the unicorn of the sea, with a spiral tusk up to 10 feet long that senses temperature and pressure, swimming in Arctic pods, clicking softly like underwater wind chimes, their tusks crossing like swords in play, their skin mottled like marble. The 26th whisper tells of the axolotl, a salamander that never grows up, regenerating entire limbs, hearts, and brains, living its whole life with feathery gills and a permanent smile, swimming calmly in Mexican lakes like a forever child of the water, its skin pink or black or gold. The 27th calm murmur speaks of the glass frog, so transparent you can see its heart beating and food digesting, sitting quietly on leaves in the Costa Rican rainforest, blending into the green like a living jewel, its eyes glowing gold at night, its croaks soft as a whisper. The 28th gentle fact glows from the tardigrade, a microscopic water bear that survives space, boiling acid, freezing cold, and radiation, curling into a tiny ball called a ton to sleep through disasters. The toughest soft creature on Earth, smaller than a grain of sand, yet stronger than steel. The 29th soft glow comes from the hummingbird, beating its wings 80 times a second, heart racing at 1,200 beats per minute, yet sleeping in torpor, slowing to a gentle whisper every night, hanging upside down like a tiny jewel in a Costa Rican garden. The 30th whisper arrives from the orchid mantis, a flower that hunts, pink and perfect, sitting still on petals in Malaysian jungles, waiting with infinite patience, beauty and danger in quiet harmony, its arms folded like petals in prayer, its eyes black and shiny. The 31st calm light speaks of the leafcutter ants in the Amazon, farming fungus in underground cities deeper than a house, carrying leaves 10 times their weight, marching in perfect lines like tiny green farmers, their jaws clicking softly as they work, their tunnels cool and dark. The 32nd gentle murmur tells of the male bowerbird in Australia, building elaborate love nests decorated with blue feathers, berries, flowers, and stolen bottle caps, dancing softly with puffed chest to win a mate's heart, his bowers cleaner than most human homes, his song sweet and varied. The 33rd soft fact glows from the superb lyrebird, mimicking chainsaws, camera shutters, car alarms, and other birds with perfect pitch, singing in the Australian bush like nature's own sound engineer, its tail feathers fanned like a peacock's crown, its voice echoing through the trees. The 34th whisper floats past the proboscis monkey in Borneo, with a nose so big it honks when it calls, swinging through mangroves, living in peaceful riverside troops, belly flopping into water with a splash that echoes like laughter, its fur red and fluffy. The 35th calm glow comes from the fennec fox in the Sahara, with ears bigger than its face, cooling its body in the desert night, digging cozy sand burrows under the stars, its fur soft as silk, its eyes reflecting moonlight like tiny mirrors, its bark high and sweet. The 36th gentle light arrives from the sea otter off California, holding hands with its family while sleeping so they don't drift apart, wrapping in kelp like a blanket, floating calmly on the Pacific waves, grooming each other with gentle paws, cracking clams on their bellies. The 37th soft murmur speaks of the manatee in Florida's warm springs, the gentle giant of the sea, grazing on seagrass like underwater cows, moving so slowly it seems to float in slow motion, hugging boaters with its flippers, its skin gray and wrinkled like an old elephant. The 38th whisper tells of the alpaca in the Peruvian Andes, with fur softer than cashmere, humming softly to its herd in high mountain meadows, calm and fluffy against the cold, spitting only when annoyed, otherwise peaceful, its eyes big and dark. The 39th calm fact glows from the capybara in South America, the world's largest rodent, friends with everyone, sitting calmly in hot springs with birds on its back, the chillest animal alive, its eyes half closed in permanent relaxation, its fur coarse but warm. The 40th gentle glow comes from the red panda in the Himalayan foothills, curling its ringed tail like a scarf, sleeping in trees, eating bamboo with tiny pseudo-thumbs, a quiet fireball of fluff that sneezes when surprised, its face masked like a raccoon. The 41st soft light arrives from the pangolin, the only mammal with scales, rolling into a perfect ball when scared, walking on its knuckles in African forests, its tongue longer than its body, licking ants in silence, its scales sharp but its heart gentle. The 42nd whisper speaks of the slow loris, the only venomous primate moving like liquid in Southeast Asian trees, its big eyes glowing in the dark, raising its arms to show poison glands, but mostly just cuddling branches, its fur thick and soft. The 43rd calm murmur tells of the saiga antelope in the Russian steppes, with a nose like a tiny trunk that filters dust, migrating in herds of thousands, their horns twisted like soft spirals running with the wind, their coats golden in the sun. The 44th gentle fact glows from the shoebill stork in Sudanese swamps, standing perfectly still for hours, its bill like a wooden clog, clapping it shut on fish with a sound like a quiet gunshot, then swallowing whole, its eyes yellow and unblinking. The 45th soft glow comes from the proboscis bat in Central American caves, sleeping in tents made of leaves, folding them like origami, hanging in perfect rows, their noses glowing pink in the dim light, their wings thin as paper. The 46th whisper arrives from the goblin shark in the deep sea, with a jaw that shoots forward like a slingshot, catching prey in the dark, its skin pink and soft, swimming slowly like a living fossil, its eyes small and black. The 47th calm light speaks of the Yeti crab near hydrothermal vents, with hairy arms that grow bacteria for food, waving them in the superheated water, blind but dancing in the dark like fluffy ghosts, its shell white as snow. The 48th gentle murmur tells of the immortal jellyfish, Toritops dorni, that can revert to its juvenile form after maturing, potentially living forever, floating calmly in Mediterranean waters like a tiny phoenix of the sea, its bell pulsing softly. The 49th soft fact glows from the a blind cave salamander in Slovenian caves, living up to 100 years without moving much, its skin pale as moonlight, breathing through red gills like underwater flowers, its body long and thin. The 50th whisper floats past the Pompeii worm at deep sea vents, surviving water hotter than boiling, its back covered in fuzzy bacteria, living calmly where no other animal can, the toughest soft tube in the ocean, its red plumes waving in the current dot. The 51st calm glow comes from the Venus flytrap in North Carolina bogs, snapping shut on insects in half a second, digesting them slowly with enzymes, its leaves green and patient, waiting for the next gentle touch. The 52nd gentle light arrives from the Rafflesia flower in Borneo, the largest bloom on earth, smelling like rotten meat to attract flies, opening once a year for 5 days, its petals red and spotted, quiet in the jungle floor. The 53rd soft murmur speaks of the Welwitschia plant in Namibia, living 2,000 years with only 2 leaves, growing longer every year, lying flat on the desert sand like green ribbons, drinking fog through its skin. The 54th whisper tells of the dragon's blood tree in Socotra, with branches like upside-down roots, bleeding red sap when cut, standing alone on rocky hills, its crown dense and round like a mushroom cloud. The 55th calm fact glows from the corpse flower in Sumatra, blooming once every 7 years, smelling like death for 2 days, its spadix warm as a human body, attracting beetles in the night. The 56th gentle glow comes from the Titan arum, another corpse flower, taller than a man, opening at midnight with a quiet pop, it sent traveling a mile, then closing forever. The 57th soft light arrives from the Walimi pine in Australia, thought extinct for millions of years, found alive in a hidden canyon, its bark bubbly like popcorn, its leaves soft and fern-like. The 58th whisper speaks of the baobab's cousin, the bottle tree in Australia, swollen trunk holding water, branches thin and sparse, standing like a giant green bottle in the outback. The 59th calm murmur tells of the quiver tree in Namibia, with branches full of soft pulp used by bushmen for arrows. Its yellow flowers glowing in the desert sun. The 60th gentle fact glows from the saguaro cactus in Arizona. Living 200 years, arms raised like it's praising the sky. Blooming white at night, its ribs strong as wood. The 86th gentle fact glows from the cannonball tree in South American Amazonian jungles, where macaws scream overhead. Flowers smelling of sweet perfume growing directly on the thick trunk in clusters. Fruit heavy as bowling balls dropping with a soft thud at dawn onto the leaf litter below. The 87th soft glow comes from the rainbow eucalyptus in Philippine rainforests, where typhoons bend the trees, bark peeling away in long curly strips of green, blue, purple, orange, and red like an artist's palette, smooth as painted silk under your fingers, growing tall and straight in the humid heat. The 88th whisper arrives from the candle tree in Panamanian dry forests, where howler monkeys call at sunset. Pale yellow fruits hanging like wax candles from bare branches in perfect rows, glowing softly in the dusk and attracting. Fruit bats with their sweet scent. The 89th calm light speaks of the sausage tree in African savannas where lions rest in the shade. Long gray-brown fruits hanging like giant salami from rope-like stems up to 6 feet long, eaten only by elephants, baboons, and porcupines who gnaw through the tough skin. The 90th gentle murmur tells of the dragon blood tree on Yemen's remote Socotra Island, umbrella-shaped crown high above limestone plateaus where frankincense grows wild, bleeding deep red sap when cut that hardens like glass, used for medicine and violin varnish for centuries. The 91st soft fact glows from the bottle. Palm in the Seychelles Islands, where Coco de Mer nuts wash ashore. Trunk swollen like a green glass bottle at the base to store water for dry seasons. Fronds arching gracefully above like a tropical fountain in the sea breeze. The 92nd whisper floats past the jellyfish tree on remote Atlantic volcanic islands. Seeds floating like tiny translucent medusas across vast oceans for months. Sprouting on new black lava shores where nothing else grows. Quiet pioneers of isolated ecosystems. The 93rd calm glow comes from the widow's thrill in Caribbean cottage gardens where hibiscus blooms red. Delicate blue flowers hanging like earrings from arching stems that sway in the trade winds. Blooming year-round in the warm sun and loved by tiny hummingbirds. The 94th gentle light arrives from the yesterday-today-tomorrow. Flower in Brazilian suburban backyards. Petals starting deep royal purple on day 1, fading to lavender on day 2, then pure white on day 3. A quiet, color-changing show every morning with coffee. The 95th soft murmur speaks of the angel's trumpet in Andine mountain villages where condors circle high. Huge hanging white bells up to a foot long, fragrant only at night with a dizzying, sweet scent. Poisonous but beautiful, glowing under moonlight like ghostly lanterns. The 96th whisper tells of the bat. Flower in Thai limestone caves where stalactites drip slowly. Black petals with long whisker-like bracts up to a foot long, shaped exactly like a flying bat in the dim green light. Rare and mysterious in the cool darkness. The 97th calm fact glows from the parrot's beak flower in the Canary Islands volcanic cliffs where trade winds blow strong. Bright orange and curved, exactly like a parrot's beak. Loved by sunbirds that hover like helicopters, blooming in rocky crevices where few plants dare grow. The 98th gentle glow comes from the lobster. Claw heliconia in Central American rainforests where toucans call. Red and yellow bracts shaped like crustacean claws hanging in clusters, dripping with morning dew that tastes sweet to butterflies. The 99th soft light arrives from the porcelain. Berry vine in quiet Asian temperate forests. Berries starting turquoise, then ripening to pink, purple, and blue like glass beads. Shining in the autumn sun as leaves turn gold. The 100th whisper speaks of the bleeding heart in cool North American woodland gardens where ferns unfurl. Pink heart-shaped flowers with white teardrops dangling from arching stems. Blooming in spring shade like quiet love letters from the forest floor. The 101st calm murmur tells of the foxglove in English country hedgerows where rabbits hop at twilight. Tall spires of purple bell-shaped flowers spotted inside to guide bumblebees, swaying gently in the summer breeze that carries the scent of warm grass. The 102nd gentle fact glows from the lupin in Alaskan coastal meadows where eagles fish at low tide. Tall spikes of blue, purple, pink, and white fixing nitrogen in the poor gravel soil, feeding the earth quietly as it sleeps through 9 months of winter. The 103rd soft glow comes from the Indian paintbrush in American western prairies where bison once roamed. Red bracts like brushes dipped in scarlet paint surrounding tiny green flowers, growing among grasses in quiet splashes of color that wave in the wind. The 104th whisper arrives from the fireweed in Canadian boreal forests after wildfires. Bright magenta pink flowers blooming from bottom to top along 4-foot stems, marking the years since the last fire with its gentle presence in the black. Charcoal soil, the 105th calm light, speaks of the forget-me-not. In Arctic tundra streams, where ice cracks in spring, tiny sky-blue flowers with yellow centers no bigger than a pencil eraser, blooming briefly under the midnight sun and carpeting the ground in delicate color. The 106th gentle murmur tells of the desert rose in Namibian gravel plains where gemsbok wander. Thick, succulent leaves and trumpet-shaped pink flowers with darker throats, storing water in its bulbous base that looks like a smooth gray rock. The 107th soft fact glows from the kangaroo fern in Australian subtropical rainforests where koalas sleep. Fronds soft and feathery like ostrich plumes, growing on mossy tree trunks like cascading green waterfalls in the dim, filtered light. The 108th whisper floats past the staghorn fern in tropical cloud forests where orchids bloom, hanging like giant green antlers from ancient branches, catching rainwater and leaf litter in its shield-like base that forms a home for tiny tree frogs. The 109th calm glow comes from the bird's nest fern in Southeast Asian jungle clearings. Broad, glossy apple-green leaves forming a perfect rosette up to 6 feet wide, like a giant nest, growing high in tree crotches and collecting compost for nutrients. The 110th gentle light arrives from the resurrection fern in southern live oak trees draped with Spanish moss, drying brown and crispy like dead leaves in drought, greening up in hours after the first rain falls. A quiet miracle of survival in the humid south. The 111th soft murmur speaks of the sensitive plant in tropical roadside ditches where butterflies land, folding its fern-like leaves within seconds when touched, or at nightfall, shy and gentle in the heat, reopening with the morning sun. The 112th whisper tells of the sundew in northern peat bogs where cranberries grow, round leaves covered in sticky red tentacles glowing with dew like glue that sparkles in the sun, catching gnats and mosquitoes in quiet, sparkling traps. The 113th calm fact glows from the pitcher plant in Borneo's peat swamp forests. Tall, tubular pitchers in red and green luring insects with sweet nectar on the rim, digesting them slowly in pools of enzyme-rich water at the bottom. The 114th gentle glow comes from the cobra lily in California's serpentine seeps where Darlingtonia grows alone. Hooded and spotted pitchers with translucent false windows that confuse flies into drowning. Forked tongue-like appendage, hanging like a snake. The 115th soft light arrives from the bladderwort in ponds and ditches worldwide. Tiny yellow snapdragon-like flowers floating above water. Underwater suction traps no bigger than a pinhead catching Daphnia and mosquito larvae in 1/500th of a second. The 116th whisper speaks of the waterwheel plant in Australian. Clear freshwater streams, spinning wheel-like traps with 6 to 9 spokes, catching tiny crustaceans in the gentle current. Quiet, underwater hunter that moves with the flow. The 117th calm murmur tells of the tank, bromeliad in Amazonian tree canopies 100 feet up, central cup holding up to 2 gallons of rainwater like a tiny pond, home to tree frogs, damselfly larvae, and mosquito larvae that live their entire lives in one plant. The 118th gentle fact glows from the Tilinanzia air plant in American southwestern deserts where saguaro cacti stand tall. No soil needed, silver trichomes drinking mist from morning fog rolling in from the Gulf, blooming purple trumpets in spring that smell like grapes. The 119th soft glow comes from the Spanish moss in southern live oak alleys. Not moss at all, but a flowering epiphyte hanging in silver-gray curtains up to 20 feet long, swaying softly in the humid breeze and providing cover for bats and birds. The 120th whisper arrives from the reindeer moss in Arctic tundra after summer rain. Not moss, but pale green lichen, crunchy under caribou hooves and glowing after drinking water, growing only a few millimeters per year in the cold. The 121st calm light speaks of the glowing foxfire fungus in New Zealand's Watamo caves. Tiny threads of bioluminescence lighting limestone ceilings, like green constellations for glowworms to hunt by. The 122nd gentle murmur tells of the dinoflagellate algae in Maldives lagoons, single-celled organisms glowing electric blue when waves disturb them at night, turning the ocean into quiet magic under tropical stars. The stories keep drifting like soft clouds across a summer sky. Every fact, a warm blanket. Every pause, a deeper breath. Keep listening, because Earth itself is singing you the gentlest lullaby, and the night is only beginning. 61st calm glow comes from the Joshua tree in the Mojave Desert, arms twisted like dancers frozen mid-spin, blooming creamy white flowers only after rare spring rains that come once every few years, standing silent under star-filled skies that stretch forever, its spiky leaves whispering softly in the dry wind that carries the scent of sage and dust. Its silhouette black against the silver moon, roots spreading wide to drink the tiniest drops of dew. The 62nd gentle light arrives from the monkey puzzle tree in the misty valleys of the Chilean Andes. Branches covered in sharp, overlapping scales like the skin of an ancient dragon guarding secrets, growing slowly for 1,000 years or more in the cool fog, its heavy cones dropping gently to the thick needle-covered floor with a quiet thud that echoes through the silent forest. Seeds waiting patiently for fire or time to open them. The 63rd soft murmur speaks of the bristlecone pine in California's high white mountains. The oldest living single organism on Earth, over 5,000 years old and still alive, twisted by centuries of wind and snow into gnarled shapes that look like wise old wizards, its wood dense as stone and red as cinnamon, still producing tiny new cones every summer in peaceful patience. Rings inside telling stories of ice ages and warm spells long forgotten. The 64th whisper tells of the traveler's palm in Madagascar's eastern rainforests, where the air is thick with orchid scent. Leaves fanned out like a giant green peacock's tail, catching every drop of morning mist, collecting rainwater. In its leaf bases for thirsty lemurs, chameleons, and birds that come to drink, standing tall in the humid green, like a living fountain of life. Its roots gripping red laterite soil that stains everything rust-colored. The 65th calm fact glows from the Rafflesia flower hidden deep in Borneo's steaming jungles. The largest single bloom on the planet, 3 feet wide and heavy as a bowling ball, smelling faintly of rotten meat for just 5 days to attract carrion flies that crawl inside, opening once every few years in complete silence, then closing forever in quiet mystery, its red petals spotted like a leopard, vines thick as your arm. The 66th gentle glow comes from the night blooming Sirius cactus in Arizona's Sonoran Desert, where the sand still holds the day's heat, opening only one magical night each year after sunset, with a soft pop you can hear if you sit close. Its huge white petals glowing like moonlight on fresh snow, releasing a sweet vanilla scent that drifts on the warm air until the flowers wilt by dawn, leaving only a memory and a seed pod. The 67th soft light arrives from the ghost orchid in Florida's just pale green roots clinging to rough bark, high above the tea-colored water, blooming pure white in the sticky heat of July, pollinated by a single giant sphinx moth with a foot-long tongue that visits only at dusk when the air smells of wet moss and distant thunder. The 68th whisper speaks of the Victoria Amazonica, water lily in the slow-moving oxbow lakes of the Amazon, where piranhas glide beneath. Leaves 6 feet across and strong enough to hold a small child without sinking, edges turned up like a shallow green tray to keep rain inside. Flowers white the first night with a pineapple scent, soft pink the second, then sinking quietly below the surface to rot and feed the fish. The 69th calm murmur tells of the snowdrop, flower in quiet English woodlands where frost still clings to the leaf litter. pushing through frozen ground in late winter like tiny white bells of hope, petals white as fresh milk with a green spot inside, the very first sign that spring is whispering its way back through the cold earth. Their scent, faint but sweet when you kneel close. The 70th gentle fact glows from the Edelweiss in the high Swiss Alps, where the air is thin and crisp, star-shaped and covered in soft, white, woolly hairs that trap warmth, growing in rocky crevices where eagles soar and marmots whistle, picked only by lovers brave enough to climb steep scree slopes, its fuzz keeping it warm through snowy nights and windy days. The 71st soft glow comes from the sacred lotus in Asian temple ponds where golden carp swim lazily, rising clean from thick black mud every morning as the sun touches the water. Petals, pink or white, unfolding slowly like a yawn, closing gently at night like a soft hand folding in prayer, floating on still water as a symbol of peace and purity for thousands of years. The 72nd whisper arrives from the passion flower in South American cloud forests, where mist clings to everything. 10 petals representing the apostles who stayed loyal, center like a crown of thorns with purple filaments, blooming purple, and white with a faint sweet scent that bees love, its vines climbing quietly over ancient Mayan ruins now covered in moss. The 73rd calm light speaks of the bird of paradise flower in South Africa's fynbos, where proteas grow wild, shaped exactly like a colorful tropical bird in mid-flight with orange crest and blue beak, petals standing tall on long stems that sway softly in a coastal breeze, loved by sunbirds with curved beaks that drink nectar while perched like jewels. The 74th gentle murmur tells of the dead horse, arum lily, in Mediterranean hills where cicadas sing all day, smelling strongly of rotten meat for just 2 days in early spring to attract blue bottle flies. Its purple spadix warm as human hand inside the pale green hood, then sleeping through the hot summer with only dry seeds left behind. The 75th soft fact glows from the moonflower in quiet American cottage gardens where porch lights glow yellow, opening at dusk with a soft audible pop you can hear across the yard. Huge white trumpet-shaped blooms glowing under stars, like paper lanterns, releasing a strong sweet scent until sunrise closes them forever, leaving bees drunk on leftover nectar. The 76th whisper floats past the kangaroo paw flower in Western Australia's sandy plains where wildflowers bloom after winter rain, fuzzy and claw-shaped in red and green like a kangaroo's foot, loved by honeyweeder birds with long brush tongues that dip inside for nectar, standing in low clumps like living paintbrushes in the golden afternoon light. The 77th calm glow comes from the King Protea in Cape Town's Table Mountain, where the ocean meets the sky. The largest protea bloom in the world, huge and leathery in pink or red, with a velvet texture, lasting weeks even when cut. 4 vases named after the Greek god Proteus, who could change his form at will. The 78th gentle light arrives from the Himalayan blue poppy in high Tibetan meadows where yaks graze slowly. Rare and delicate, with petals like crumpled blue tissue paper, so thin you can see light through them, growing where the air is thin and cold, blooming for just a few precious days in early June before the snow returns. The 79th soft murmur speaks of the corpse-bride flower in Java's volcanic forests where sulfur smells linger. White and veil-like petals hanging from vines in the mist like a ghostly wedding dress, smelling faintly of jasmine only. At night, to guide hawk moths through the darkness with its pale glow. The 80th whisper tells of the chocolate cosmos in Mexican mountain gardens where marigolds grow wild. Petals, dark, velvety red, that feel like silk, smelling exactly like warm cocoa powder when you brush past. Blooming in late summer evenings as the sun sets behind purple mountains. The 81st calm fact glows from the bee orchid in sunny European limestone meadows where sheep graze. Petals shaped and colored exactly like a female bumblebee, with fuzzy brown body and yellow markings to trick males into trying to mate. Quiet deception in the grass that ensures pollination. The 82nd gentle glow comes from the snake's head, fritillary, in English flood meadows where kingfishers flash blue. Petals checkered, purple and white, like a chessboard on a drooping stem, nodding gently in the breeze, blooming only after especially wet winters when the rivers overflow and leave rich silt behind. The 83rd soft light arrives from the lady's slipper orchid in cool North American hardwood forests where trilliums bloom white and protected with a pouch-shaped yellow flower that takes 15 years to grow. Living in deep, mossy shade under maple and beech trees. The 84th whisper speaks of the flame lily in African grasslands where zebras graze at dawn. Orange and red petals curling backward like flames, licking the air. Climbing over fences and termite mounds with tendrils, poisonous but beautiful to look at from a distance. The 85th calm murmur tells of the sea poison tree in Australian mangrove swamps where mudskippers hop. Fruit floating hundreds of miles on ocean currents to new shores. Seeds sprouting while still bobbing in salt water like tiny rafts. Quiet colonizers of tropical coastlines. The 123rd soft fact glows from the honey fungus in Michigan's Upper Peninsula forests, the largest single organism on Earth, covering nearly 100 acres underground with black, shoestring rhizomorphs, quiet and ancient beneath the maple trees. The 124th whisper floats past the physarum slime mold on damp forest logs worldwide. Bright yellow when active, moving without legs at 1 centimeter per hour, solving mazes better than robots and glowing faintly when happy. The 125th calm glow comes from the mycelium network under ancient European beech forests, connecting tree roots in a wood-wide web hundreds of feet across, sharing water, carbon, and nitrogen in complete silence for centuries. The 126th gentle light arrives from the Perigord black truffle under French oak and hazelnut roots, scented like earth and garlic to attract wild boars and pigs, growing in quiet, symbiotic partnership with trees for hundreds of years. The 127th soft murmur speaks of the Saccharomyces yeast in warm bread dough on kitchen counters everywhere. Tiny single cells breathing sugar and releasing carbon dioxide, making millions of tiny air bubbles that cause the dough to rise softly through the night. The 128th whisper tells of the lactobacillus bacteria in natural yogurt cultures, turning milk creamy and tangy in just a few hours, living quietly in your refrigerator and helping your gut stay balanced and happy. The 129th .com fact glows from the phytoplankton in sunlit ocean surface waters around the world. Microscopic plants and cyanobacteria producing half the planet's oxygen with every gentle float and cell division in the blue. The 130th gentle glow comes from the Antarctic krill under sea ice in winter, swarming in billions and glowing faintly blue when disturbed. Food for blue whales, Adelie penguins, and crab-eater seals in the quiet polar night. Where the aurora dances green dot, the 131st soft light arrives from the tube. Anemone in Pacific Northwest tide pools, buried in sand with only sticky tentacles waving like flowers, catching plankton in the gentle surge of waves at low tide. The 132nd whisper speaks of the Christmas tree worm on coral reefs worldwide, living in calcium tubes with colorful spiral gills like tiny fir trees, retracting in a flash when shadows pass overhead. The 133rd calm murmur tells of the sea, pen on deep ocean floors, colony of polyps looking like old-fashioned quill pens, glowing blue when touched and anchoring in soft mud. The 134th gentle fact glows from the basket star at night on Caribbean reefs, curling its arms into a ball by day, unfurling into a living net at night to catch plankton in the current. The 135th soft glow comes from the feather duster worm in Indo-Pacific lagoons, crown of feathery radioles filtering food from water, retracting into its parchment tube when fish swim close. The 136th whisper arrives from the sponge on coral reefs, some older than ancient Rome, filtering thousands of gallons of water daily through tiny pores. Quiet janitors of the sea. The 137th calm light speaks of the giant clam in shallow tropical waters. Shell up to 4 feet wide. Mantles of iridescent blue, green, and gold, growing slowly for a century. The 138th gentle murmur tells of the nudibranch sea slugs, some no bigger than a rice grain, others foot-long, colors brighter than any flower, gliding over reefs. The 139th soft fact glows from the mantis shrimp with 16 color receptors, seeing polarized light and ultraviolet, punching prey at bullet speed from tiny caves. The 140th whisper floats past the cleaner wrasse fish, setting up cleaning stations on reefs where larger fish wait patiently to have parasites removed. And now, as the very last whispers fade into the velvet night, imagine yourself floating in a soft meadow of glowing moss, fireflies dancing slow golden circles above your head, the earth breathing gently in and out with you. Every creature, every plant, every tiny life from ocean depths to mountain peaks, all part of one big, quiet, loving family. You are home. You are safe. You are held in the warm embrace of this beautiful blue world. Let go completely now. Drift deeper than ever before. Sleep, sweet dreamer. Sleep in the eternal cradle of Earth herself. Good night. Good night. Good night.